Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show for Friday, June 12th, 2020. Welcome to another eBay video. Today we're going to be discussing some eBay topics that I hope you find to be very interesting, and quite frankly, I think you will find them to be interesting. The first topic we're going to discuss is eBay buyers, potential buyers, who ask numerous questions. In that part of the video, I'm going to show you how a give and take between myself and a potential customer went wrong very, very quickly. And I think you guys will enjoy that segment and hopefully learn from it, and you can share your own experiences. We're also going to be discussing eBay giving us a gift, a free gift, indeed. Plus, we're going to talk about handling a fitchy return when the item was purchased through a freight forwarder. That's going to be quite interesting as well. Let's get started firstly with your comments, questions, and concerns on last week's video. On cancellations, I have several comments to read. 1960 Blue Bug wrote, "Even if you send out the canceled items, buyers can still claim item not as described, and they can force you to take the items back, right? Also, what do you think of buyers who never leave feedback?" I'm going to couple that comment with the next two. Genius Buys USA wrote, "Joe, maybe I'm missing something here. If you ignore the cancellation, and as you said, just ship the item, wouldn't that come back to bite you? If they file an item not as described after you send the item, wouldn't you lose postage both ways? Wouldn't it be better to bite the bullet and do the cancel?" Now, Dennis Copper replied to him and said, "No, it would not. It will do the exact opposite, hurting all good sellers. According to eBay, buyers that purchase are in a binding legal agreement. You can read it all on their website. Bad buyers file false item not as described claims anyway. Let them lie. I have 100% success shipping items out to buyers that canceled. One buyer even bought two of the same items. They just said they would have a spare if they need it. How cool is that? All sellers should ship out their items promptly." Now, I'll address these comments right now. I happen to agree with Dennis Copper because, as you said, all eBay sellers need to ship their items promptly. When these buyers click buy it now or win an item or whatever, they have no reason to cancel. They should have read the listing in its entirety. eBay even states that buyers are responsible for reading the listing before purchasing. I'm going to start a new segment each week starting right now today. I'm going to tell you guys how much money I make each week by not canceling sales. Now, last Friday I told you a person purchased 4 hubs from me and at some point during the night wanted to cancel. Ain't happening. Ain't happening. I sent them out. Also, before the video went public, I had a second cancellation last Friday. A person bought an alloy wheel center cap and tried the same thing. As I was saying, 2 people last week purchased my items and attempted to cancel. I did not honor either cancellation. I sent both items out. The grand total is $190 for both items, but that includes shipping, of course. So let's deduct the shipping. So I figure about $140 profit is in my pocket right now because I did not cancel. And for the people who wrote in the comments saying, can't a buyer file a not as described claim and send it back to you? Yes, they certainly can. But I have to agree with Dennis Copper because of all the times I've ever sent these cancellations out, I've never ever had one come back. Now, in all fairness, this is something I've only started recently, so only time will tell. But hypothetically speaking, let's say a fitchy buyer did pull something like that. I would call eBay so quickly and I would point out the fact that they tried to cancel and that it was too late. The item had already been shipped, and that eBay would then realize that this person tried to cancel, and now it was a case of sour grapes on their part. Guys, you have no idea how important it is for you to report bad buyers. I report them like crazy. If I come across a person that's fishy or gives me any trouble or violates any eBay policies, I report them. Heck, one guy got his account whacked because of it. Dennis Copper wrote in with a comment about buyers with an attitude. If someone comes to me with an attitude, they're talking to themselves. I'm long gone. Never forget, when eBay pays the bad buyer and reimburses the good seller, the bad buyer is getting money from all of you sellers. eBay gets a great deal of their money from you. This only makes the scammers do it again. Free money. I have a lot to talk about regarding that comment about bad buyers with an attitude, but let me just get through these other questions, comments, and concerns really quickly. On feedback removal, Vintage Travelers wrote a super long comment, and since I don't have 2 hours to stand out here, I truncated it as best I could. Hello, Joe. I've been watching your channel for some time now, about 3 or 4 years, and I've really enjoyed your help and insight. Your videos have been a huge help. Others are helpful, but you seem to touch on just about everything eBay sellers have to deal with. I've been selling on eBay for 6 years now, and I'm at a point where I do okay in selling. Like most of your subscribers, feedback is always a pain. After sending eBay my complaint, in less than 5 minutes I got a reply saying, "We've looked carefully at this feedback and see that it doesn't qualify for removal." Feedback is a way to let our members share their experiences with other members. Feedback that breaches the feedback policy may be removed by eBay. We won't remove feedback on the grounds that a seller believes the comment is untrue or undeserved. That is the truncated form of the comment. And from what I read, it seems like this seller contacted eBay either through messages or maybe the live chat option. And quite frankly, those are 2 options I do not recommend. The best option is to call eBay if you can. I know we're still in the coronavirus pandemic, but today is Friday, okay, June the 12th, and I called eBay today. If you're a top-rated seller and you have concierge service, all you have to do is click the call me back feature and they'll call you back within 1 minute. Very quickly, what happened is somebody left an abusive comment. It wasn't a negative comment. It was actually a neutral comment. And neutral comments don't bother me. In fact, I have one showing right now, and I have no problem really with a neutral comment. But when they violate eBay policy and use a vulgar word or a vulgar expression, it's getting removed. I called eBay on the phone and they removed it within about 2 minutes. So if you're lucky enough that you can call in, please use that option. If not, contact eBay for Business through Facebook. On offers to watches, ZXC wrote, "I sent out an offer to a watcher and the buyer accepted and paid right away. Then when he got the item, he didn't like it and filed a snag case. This is my first return in at least a year. Strangely, he paid for return shipping, so I wouldn't call him a fishy buyer. I had another person buy it before I received his return for more money. I laughed when I was sitting outside watching your video, hearing Rob and the Blob. LOL. It's so funny. Did anyone get a free gift code from eBay today? I received a $25 gift code for eBay shipping supplies on top of the quarterly one." All right, 2 points I want to address there. Number one is several people wrote in last week's video and asked me to move the position of the sign so they could see both the sign and the birdhouse. So I think I did a pretty good job. Let me know if you like the positioning of both of those, because both will be featured in every single eBay video I make. Secondly, let's talk about the gift code. This is eBay's best kept little secret, so I want to share it with you guys right now. eBay has given store sellers a free gift. Basic store sellers get an additional $25 worth of eBay shipping supplies. Premium store owners get $50, and anchor store owners get another $150. However, most eBay sellers did not receive adequate communication about their gift code, so I'm going to give you the gift codes right now. I'm going to say them orally, and I'm going to put them on the screen so you guys can redeem your codes. Do not worry about anybody else grabbing the codes, because each code is unique to a various level eBay store. For instance, the basic store gets one code, the premium store gets another, and the anchor store gets another. And it will only work if you have that level store. If you have that starter store that eBay just introduced recently, none of these codes will work for you. And of course, if you have no store, none of these codes will work for you. And dare I say, if you're fitchy, you shouldn't even be on eBay. Okay, the basic store code is thanks to you. Premium store code, thanks a lot. Anchor store code, thanks a ton. So, guys, when you're done watching this video, go redeem your codes. I've already redeemed mine. Let's now segue to what I think is a very funny story for you guys. I think you're really going to enjoy this. It has to do with buyers contacting you with one question after the next. I know a lot of you guys feel strongly that when a buyer asks too many questions, you should run like hell. I'm going to show you an example of something that happened to me just the other day. A buyer starts out asking reasonable questions. For instance, will these fit my car? And we go back and forth within the span of less than an hour. And you will see how quickly the communication deteriorated. So let's do cutaway number one. We'll take a look at that and we'll come back and discuss it. Okay guys, right now I'm going to walk you through a little give and take with an eBay buyer, and I'm going to show you how quickly things can go foul. So here is my listing. Factory 1992 to 97 Ford Crown Vic 15-inch police hubcaps, $90 plus shipping. So the customer starts out reasonably. I have a 97 Crown Vic. Do you have 4 hubcaps? It's 15-inch. It's 5 lug 15-inch tires. Everything he's asking me can be answered just by looking right here. 4 hubcaps, 15-inch. So I wrote back to him and I said, yes, these are the correct ones for your car. These will fit. He then wrote back a second time. Does it matter? My car isn't police edition. The eBay chart says it won't fit. Now, I don't know where he came up with that idea, but that's totally wrong. These will fit, and I wrote back and I told him that they would indeed fit. He then wrote back, third time, will you accept an offer or is your price firm? So, what I always tell you guys to do in cases like this is to just tell people to try and get it locally, because I find that works very well. Either A, they'll just go away and leave you alone, or B, they'll realize that you have something that they really want that nobody else has, which is the case here, and they'll buy the item for your asking price. So I wrote back to him and I told him exactly that. I said, just try and get it locally. Here's what I wrote. I would try and get them locally if possible. This way you might save a couple of dollars on shipping. All the best. In his fourth reply, he writes, I didn't ask about shipping. I asked if the high price was firm or will you accept an offer. You're the one trying to sell them, not me. Keep in mind, this is his 4th time contacting me. So now I'm concerned, okay? Before it was just a little inconvenience, but now I'm concerned. In his 5th letter, before I even get a chance to respond, he writes right back, you're asking $90 for a set of hubcaps. Don't hubcaps go for 10 or 15 a piece? Now keep in mind, he knew they were $90 from the very first contact. He's already contacted me 5 times. Now I know beyond any doubt nothing good can come of this. So what I did was I went ahead and I blocked him. And I let him know in the next message. I have just blocked you from participating in any of my listings. Please do not contact me back. You have already contacted me 5 times today. And what does he do? He writes back with number 6. You're retarded. I did not reply to that, and he comes right back with number 7. Block people for asking questions. How immature and ignorant. Plenty of sellers accept offers or best offer. Grow up. Let's get back to the video and let's discuss this a little bit. Before we do any discussing, we're going to take drink number 1 from the ceremonial Fox News Cup O' Life. This is the ceremonial Fox News Cup O' Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Yes, you can see it's cloudy out, but that's to be expected. Rain is on the way, and it's going to rain. I don't think it's going to rain Saturday. It is going to rain Sunday and Monday, though, and possibly Tuesday, too. So it's not looking too good. So you guys saw how the communication started between myself and the customer. If you look at his first 3 questions, he could answer them just by looking at the listing itself. Size 15-inch was clearly mentioned. Ford Crown Vic was clearly mentioned. And the price, $90. Even before he asked his very first question about the size, he had to have known the price was $90. Now, the first 2 questions about the size and the Crown Vic Interceptor police car, I consider those legit questions, and I answered them respectfully. But once he started complaining about the price, I was still respectful. I said try and find them locally. Usually when I say try and find them locally, difficult people usually go away, but occasionally I'll get somebody like this that really wants to go at it. And you saw that he said I was retarded. Of all the nerve, man. But still, I thought you guys would enjoy that life's lesson, so I shared it with you. Now I'm going to share another little lesson with you, and it has to do with returns. As you guys know, I get a very generous amount of returns, but as a rule, most of my customers are totally honest, and they'll say that they bought the wrong size, change mine, doesn't fit. I'm going to show you now another cutaway of something that happened to me on Thursday. I had sold a set of BMW hubs that clearly said they were scratched and blemished. However, what makes this a difficult deal is they were sold through a freight forwarder. A freight forwarder is a broker who buys items on eBay for his customers who are usually overseas and don't want to go through the global shipping program, or can't go through it for whatever reason. I've dealt with freight forwarders for many years with no problems, but this is a rare time I've encountered a problem. Let's take a look at that cutaway. We'll come back and discuss it, and who knows, maybe another drink from the Fox Ceremonial Cup O' Life. Okay guys, now I'm going to show you a return that was initiated with a false SNAD claim by a fishy buyer, but this particular case is a lot different from anything that I've ever experienced before, and I'm going to show you why. Here you can see the buyer started a return. The buyer's name is Lestribar. He claims doesn't work or defective, and he says hubcaps are damaged or scratched, and he has produced these pictures of some scratches. Now let's stop and let's take a look at the listing itself, which is right here. I clearly say some scratches here and there, 1 center emblems, 1 cap has a small chip on the edge. Now it says it here. It also says it right here. And it also says it again right here. Look, you can clearly see it. See that? I have definitely covered myself on this and described it as scratched. So number 1, he's fishy in nature and he's filing a false return just to get the free shipping. However, what makes it weird is he bought this item through a freight forwarder. I've dealt with this company before. These guys are freight forwarders, and they buy for their customers and then they ship directly to their customer. Because you can see in the return, it says the buyer is Lestry Bar. So this is the person I have the issue with, not the person that actually made the purchase from me. So we have a bit of a situation here. So I called eBay and I explained the situation to the gentleman on the phone just now, and he basically told me, well, right now we have to wait, of course, till the item comes back. But he wanted me to reach out and contact the buyer and explain that it clearly says the items are scratched. And I said, how can I do that when the buyer is this freight forwarder right here, not the person who's initiating the return? This is the fishy person, not the person who actually bought the item from me. So I guess in some respects, this is one of the perils of dealing with freight forwarders. Now, in all fairness, I've been on eBay for 21 years, and I've dealt with a lot of freight forwarders, a lot of them. And I've never had this problem before, never once. So this is really the exception to the rule. But as I said, the agent advised me that once the item comes back, that I could, in fact, issue a deduction. I don't have to give him his full money back, but I have to see how much money this is going to cost me for shipping back and where I'm going to be paying from. Am I going to be paying from wherever this person resides, Lestry Bar, or am I going to be paying from the place that I actually shipped it to? So this is going to be something very interesting. So if any of you guys have dealt with freight forwarders and ever had a problem, keep this in mind. It's not the rule, it's the exception to the rule. But you need to watch out for fishy buyers. Always keep that in mind. Let's get back to the video. As I promised you guys, this is drink number 2 from the ceremonial Fox News Cup of Life. Happy is he who drinks from it. Very good. So I clearly showed you guys in that cutaway that I described the item correctly with scratches and a chip out of the edge. The buyer did not like them and says that it's not as described when that's totally not the case. So on Thursday I called up eBay concierge and I told them about that. I actually did 2 things at one time on Thursday. I called up about that and I got that vulgar feedback removed that I spoke of earlier. It was two birds with one stone. So the representative totally understood my concerns, but he said right now he can't do anything. I have to wait until the item comes back to me, and I am going to be paying at this point for the return shipped back from the customer to me. But what I'm not sure is, am I paying from here in the United States from the freight forwarder to me, or am I paying from wherever the customer lives to me? I'm not quite clear about that. But the rep said once I get the items back that I have the right to deduct. I do not have to give him his full amount back, which I think off the top of my head might have been $81. But I can guarantee you, he will not get his full money back. I will be deducting the full charge for the shipping, and I'll find out what that's going to be. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about that particular incident and what would you do in my case. Right now I want to quickly jump back to cancellations if I may. Now I told you last week I had 2 cancellations and I did not honor either of them, and I have no intention of honoring any. It's happening way too often, and when a person buys an item on eBay, like Dennis Copper said, they are indeed entering into a binding contract. And keep in mind now, we're losing fees with PayPal. I thought to myself, I said, are there any circumstances in which I personally would honor a cancellation? And I can think of 2, although they haven't happened. Hypothetical case number 1 would be as if a guy purchased a set of 14-inch hubs from me and then quickly messages me back and says, Joe, I want to cancel because I bought 14-inch hubs from you, but I really need 15-inch. If you're willing to cancel these, I will buy the 15-inch ones from you instead. Okay, that I would do. The second hypothetical situation would be if a person bought something from me and messaged me and says, Joe, I want to cancel. I made a mistake and I'm very sorry. I realize that your time is money and you're being charged money through PayPal and possibly eBay, and I am willing to pay the fees that you have incurred. Just let me know how much it is and I will gladly PayPal you the money. That would be a totally honest dude in my case, and I would honor that cancellation. But for these people that just want to cancel willy-nilly, pell-mell, no. Just say no, okay? That's my opinion. You do what works for you. If you can afford to lose all this crazy money, God bless you. Maybe you don't need to be selling online. But I sell online to make money. And quite frankly, I'm not trying to brag here, but I'm doing a very good job of it. I had another superlative week. Sales on eBay were once again excellent. I have no reason to complain. It's just getting better and better each week. That being said, guys, I want to bring this to a close. I don't know if you can tell, but it's gotten a lot darker, and I think the rain's going to start any second. And they're saying thunderstorms. Guys, I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you for watching this video. Every Friday night, I come out here and I make these videos to try and help you stay successful on eBay. If you think I'm doing a good job, please leave me a thumbs up. It tells me I'm on point and appreciated. If you don't think I'm doing a good job, tell me in the comment section what you want me to hit up, and I'll do my best to do it next week. Remember, I'm a seller friend, not a seller critic or skeptic of any kind. I've solved a lot of problems. I'm still making money online. I've never worn a mask, and I never will. I would never, ever distort my voice, because that is fitchy in nature. It is unscrupulous and, in my opinion, dishonest. I'll never do it. I'm a CEO and a CFO of my own company. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope you make a ton of money on eBay. Go out there, rock on, and peace. And remember, don't be fishy! Look! Rob and the Blob.